Just in case you weren't paying attention.
Mikey, I've made a decision.
Oh, okay. Sigh about?
About me being here. I've thought long and hard about everything.
I've found that the best way to do most things.
I do think that the way forward is to...
Hello, my name is Joanna Halliday, and I'll be reading The Storyteller. Friends of Dorothy, Episode 3, The Naked Truth, by David Rector.
I don't understand when I fit in.
The Kitchen, 9:10 a.m.
Sorry, Simon. What were you saying? I'm forever interrupting people.
I really want to be here. Stay here. Live here.
Yep, that is loud and clear. I want it too.
I've got an idea how.
The problem is William has already set up home. He's clearly got more money and Steph is keen on him. Although not like that. Not that she dislikes you or...
I think my proposal would...
I want you. Oh, no, not like that. Not in that way, but as a flatmate. You seem lovely and all, but I'm just not...
Hear me out, Mikey. Please.
Sure, Si. You only have to ask.
My idea will keep us both here.
Oh, I'm all ears. Truly I am. They're a little oversized. Maybe one day I'll get them pinned.
So, William said that 4 into 3 won't go. And he's correct. But only to a point. It's how we use the space and adapt the house.
Huh? There's still only 3 bedrooms and no one wanted to share. We can't have you sleeping in the courtyard. A possum might peck at you.
I've had worse. No, I appreciate that. What I'm thinking, and I'm only asking for a trial, is that we do some rearranging of the living room.
But where would we live?
In there. I can get a room divider from work and partition off a section and sleep inside.
Oh, like a cubicle? How positively camp.
Yes, out of the way. You'd never know I was there.
Well, I don't know about that, and Steph will never go for it.
I'm listening. Steph is in the armchair, Simon and Mikey on the 3-piece. William stands using a chest expander.
So, if you give me the permission, I would like to claim a little space in that corner.
How cool. So, if you start playing up, we can say, Si, go to your corner. Naughty corner, if you will.
With the other 3 reserved for you.
I figure I'm here the least amount of time. I do readings by day and perform at the club at night. I only need a few hours sleep anyway.
That's some good lateral thinking there.
William has stepped forward, still using the chest expander.
I tried one of those once. I jammed my chest hair into it. I screamed like a banshee.
Why were you helpless?
Don't ask. I'd bet dollars to donuts he was naked.
Actually, I was, smarty pants. There's one too many pastries I was exercising in the first place. This girlish figure doesn't just happen on its own, you know.
As I was saying, it would be a way to keep the 4 of us together and still have our own space. And it would lower your rent.
Ooh, I like the sound of all that.
I don't know. 2 things come to mind. The living room would be less usable for all, and secondly, you would have no privacy, Simon.
And thirdly, Mikey and I haven't formally agreed to have 2 flatmates, and what do we tell the landlord and how do we divide the rent?
That's fourthly and fifthly.
Actually, 4th and 5th is proper.
Both are acceptable, but William is correct.
I'd rather be acceptable but improper.
You're halfway there. Sorry, Simon. We've drifted.
I'd clear out if there was a party or someone had a date. And as long as I have my little nook, I'll be okay. You can't imagine some of the spaces I've been housed in. I lived in cardboard boxes for a week until it rained. I slept in a tent for 5 months, a shed for 6 weeks, and on every different type of couch ever made.
Come on, guys. We can't say no after all that.
I think it's okay. I don't mind losing some space in here. It's pretty roomy and Si's not a big character. We have Steph for that.
We do have our bedrooms to retreat to.
So are you and Mikey okay to have both of us?
Absolutely. You bring different ingredients to the household.
We really didn't want to choose one over the other.
No, that would be cutting our hair without a comb.
Isn't it cutting your nose off to spite your face?
Oh, that's too violent. Who cuts their nose off? And how?
If we can make your proposal work, Simon, it would certainly be illustrative of our wish for a varied and queer-friendly living environment. Having all friends of Dorothy is so important to Mikey and I.
What's that liquid escaping from your eyes?
Let's give it a go. But there'll be plenty of swings and roundabouts, you know.
We haven't got room for swings or roundabouts.
4 people would mean no ganging up.
Not necessarily. 3-1 against?
I'm a Libran. 2 plus 2 could bring harmony and balance.
Also the likelihood of a deadlock.
More opportunity for discourse.
Boring? More company for one another.
Less rent to pay.
More hands make light work.
Boring.
Too many cooks can spoil the broth.
I don't eat broth. Or cook, for that matter.
We will need to look at chores and rules.
Boring. But having 4 will be fun. Remember fun?
Oh, it will be a circus. But that's what a queertopia should be. Organised chaos. I applaud you for thinking outside the box, Simon.
Better than living in a box, eh, Si?
I get a good feeling from you all. Lovely energies.
What about the gender imbalance?
What gender imbalance?
The kitchen, 8 p.m. Mikey and Steph are on stools on the kitchen side of the nook, and Simon and William on the other.
So, math was never my strong suit. In fact, I left school at 14. So I've 0 education. But William does, and you two do.
Don't sell yourself short, Simon. You do fine. Mikey here is plenty educated, but still not the sharpest tool in the shed.
We haven't got a shed, but I do have a tool.
See my point?
So, based on Simon's lifestyle, he is estimating that he works 8 hours each day, 5 in the evenings, takes 2 hours in total for travel, and sleeps no more than 6 hours per night. And trust me, from what he shares about his dream life, he's not getting a whole lot of rest.
Just listening to all of that, I need a nap.
But that only accounts for 21 hours.
Yep, but factoring an hour for each meal, allowing for ablutions, etc., he's only in the lounge for 6 hours at night. That's 1/4 of each day. So he would pay 1/16 of the total rent.
Okay, the rent is $100, so Simon would pay...
$6.25 a week.
Wow, that's cheap. I'd live in a closet for that.
Oh, Mikey, you've long outgrown the closet.
And people think that only gay men are bitchy.
Hold on. That percentile doesn't factor in the weekends. Simon only works Monday to Friday, correct?
True. I have 2 nights off from the club each week, and the weekend days. At those times, I can make myself scarce and small.
I wish I could. What's your secret? Contortionism?
Okay, work with me here, Steph. We're trying to keep us both in the house, are we not?
Yes, I know. Okay, so disregarding the rubbery flaw with the logic and the numbers, what will our rents come down to?
It would be $31.25 each.
Right, now it's $33.34 each week for 3 people.
So, what would that save you?
$2.09 a week.
Whoop-de-doo! More dishwater and radish tea.
Rosehip. I guess every buck helps, what with inflation. Actually, it's not about the money.
It isn't?
No, it isn't. It's about much more than that.
I really appreciate your even considering it.
We are, but also making it up as we go along.
Can we trial it? And in a month's time, if it isn't working, I'll move out. I promise. I just want to live in one place long enough to not get lost finding my way home.
So that happens to you too.
We want you to feel and be safe at home. I want that for all of us. We've all lived where we were not wanted, and it's not pleasant.
Thanks so much. I am grateful for this. Although, I must give credit to William for the numbers, and Jane Fonda for guiding me in the night.
Huh?
I'll tell you later.
7 a.m. Mikey stumbles out of his room, just awake. William is showering. Mikey stands outside Steph's closed door and speaks to it.
Well, I hadn't considered how popular the smallest room of the house is.
And a good morning to you too, Mikey.
We need another bathroom, please. At least a toot. We could keep it in the courtyard.
Just keep your legs crossed.
Can you draw up a bathroom schedule? You're smart.
I'm not dictating the toileting habits of others.
Looks like we all get up at the same time.
First in, best dressed. Could I get some quiet time, please? I'll be more human after a shower.
Not always, Steph. Not always.
My hearing is sharpest first thing. Please back away from the door. I'm positive you're not wearing much, and what you are will in all likelihood be a rude awakening for me.
Supersonic hearing? Sees through doors? Is there no limit to your powers, Steph?
Mikey sheepishly returns to his room. William is still showering. Simon is naked and trudges towards the bathroom, holding his Walkman, wearing headphones. He lifts them to realise the bathroom is occupied and so retreats to his corner. As he walks away, Steph opens her door and glimpses the tail end of a butt-naked Simon. She emits a muffled scream and shuts the door quickly, shocked. Mikey, hearing the shriek, opens his door but can hear showering still. He closes it, begins singing. The shower stops. Simon picks up pace, still naked, with a towel over his shoulder, but realises he has no toiletries. Returns. Steph, having heard the shower stop, reopens her door, but cops another eyeful of Simon's bottom. She stifles her scream with her hand and shakily returns to her room. Mikey, mid-chorus of, "I'm gonna wash that man," gently opens his door to listen, and he gleefully returns to his room to collect his toiletries. William and Steph simultaneously emerge. He is naked. Steph is right next to him. She yelps and immediately turns away, silent. William instinctively, comically, covers his crotch with hands before backing himself into his bedroom. Steph darts into the bathroom, immediately running the shower. Mikey hears doors closing and water running and bursts out of his room, ready with towel and toiletries, but is thwarted again.
Oh, no fair! But I can keep my legs together, as long as it takes, contrary to popular belief. I'm going back under the eider down. Some days it simply doesn't pay to get out of bed.
5 minutes later, Mikey is still singing to occupy himself in his room. Simon emerges from his corner, still naked and ready to shower. He stands outside the bathroom door. He gently knocks on it. Steph emerges with a towel twirled around her head, one tightly around her body. She comes face to face with a frontally nude Simon. She covers her eyes, then races into her bedroom. Simon immediately drapes himself with the towel from his shoulder.
I'm so terribly sorry, Steph. I hope I didn't startle you.
Startling doesn't even begin to describe my day so far, nor what I'm feeling right now.
Simon looks devastated and darts into the bathroom. Shower on. Mikey opens his door, realising he has been denied again.
Oh, good golly, Miss Molly! Not only can I get a pee or a shower, but no peace and quiet in my delicate state. Nature is calling, people, with all this running water endlessly. This is not going to be pretty.
The living room, later that day. Steph enters the front door, hastily drops her belongings, littering them in several locations, before flopping down onto the sofa, throwing her satchel on the floor. She kicks off her shoes, opens some mail, reading. She then heads to the kitchen. Mikey emerges from the bathroom, naked, other than a towel twirled around his head.
Ah! Good God, man! Why are you naked?
I'm not naked. I have headgear. See?
Down below! Down below!
I had a shower. I usually find it more pleasurable not to wear anything for it.
Haven't you heard of a towel for your bits?
You can look. I've hidden me bits.
Steph tentatively turns around to see a still topless Mikey.
That's only marginally better!
Excuse me? This is A-grade, top-shelf manliness, prime beef.
More like a loin of pork.
How rude! How would a good Jewish girl know what pork looks like anyway?
I didn't think anyone else was home.
Clearly. I needed a shower and I finally got one.
I need a tranquilizer after that.
I have been known to send hearts aflutter.
It's not a party trick I would replicate, Mikey.
Well, it was a full-on moment, wasn't it?
You're not kidding. Much more visual information than I ever needed about you.
But you've seen me naked before.
If I did, I must have repressed it. Thanks for reopening a can of worms.
Ew, that's an unkind description. It's the body, beautiful. It's how I came into the world.
If so, your mother has my deepest sympathies. Are you going to change or stand there like that?
This is my sauna and steam attire. It's a good look for me.
Trust me, it isn't. Lordy, between you and the boys, I've seen everything today, and I mean the works.
Lucky you.
Oi, that's all I need. The cuckoo from next door.
Steph, manners. Hi, Viv, come in.
Are you okay, Steph? I heard you scream. Twice.
No, that was both of us. Mikey, go put clothes on. Come in, Viv. I need some sisterly solidarity.
Why? Whatever's the matter, Steph?
Men and their bits. I've been confronted by them from every angle all day.
Oh, you poor girl. And you not being familiar with men's equipment too.
I may be a lesbian, but I know what tackle blokes have. I just don't need to have it shoved in my face multiple times a day.
Lucky you.
Oh, how simply awful, Steph.
I've seen more male flesh in one day than during my entire lifetime.
Oh, lucky you.
Where, Steph? Where?
Right here in my own home, I copped eyefuls of all of the bits of the 3 men I live with, and if you tell me I'm lucky again, Mikey, I will force feed you herbal tea. How do you cope with having to see all of that, Viv?
Well, I haven't had the pleasure yet, dolls.
I think she means the blob.
Oh, I avoid his at all costs. There's a ton of reasons I call him the blob. Like every time he stands up or bends over, rolls about.
Okay, Viv, I've been traumatized enough today. Thank you very much. Spare me the details.
They're just dingle-dangles. They're not good for much. Occasional bit of fun. Sure, you need 'em to make a bubba, but most of the time I just ignore them. They get in the way. More clutter, you know? Messy little things.
How can I ignore them when they were right in my radius? William was only a few inches away.
Just a few inches, you say? Oh.
I didn't envisage my safe haven would resemble Caligula's playpen.
What did you expect living with 3 men?
Some decorum, not full frontals, backsides too.
Where was I when all of this was taking place?
Right here, not 5 minutes ago, you flashed me.
Mikey, really? Steph's a girl and deserves privacy.
They were my bits she stumbled across. My privacy. Anyway, Steph wears 6 layers of clothing even in summer. Her privacy is never in question.
Not so. Us gals have different levels of comfort and a need to feel protected at all times, especially with nudity.
I'm no wilting violet, Viv. But let me tell you, I don't feel like I'm missing out in my personal life after what I clapped eyes on today.
So, tell me, Steph, William, was he, you know,
What?
you know, down there?
Mikey, I'm neither a gay man nor psychic, so what are you gesticulating about?
Is he circumcised?
Oi, Gavolt! I have no clue, nor keen to find out.
I was more curious about his proportions and Simon too. How do they measure up?
Curiosity killed the cat, you know, young Mikey.
We haven't got a cat, but I have an inquiring mind.
Mikey, they're your flatmates, not potential notches for your bedhead.
I'm gathering data on the variety of our equipment. You've got yours that you enjoy. We've got ours that I regularly and keenly relish.
This isn't helping.
I've heard that you can tell a lot about a man's endowment from the shape of his thumb. I've been studying both William and Simon, but have yet to have the theory validated.
See what I have to put up with, Viv? Viv!
You're picturing the blob's thumb, aren't you, Viv?
Or worse. Okay, this is all too weird for me. I will definitely have to sit down with you guys and set some rules. The boys should be home soon.
Some boundaries seem like a very good idea. I'll stay with you, Steph, and I'll make sure everyone sticks their bib in.
Thank you, Viv, but I don't want to see any more bibs today. I've definitely had my fill.
It's just not my day today.
1 hour later, Viv is seated at the kitchen counter facing the living room. William and Simon wait nervously on the sofa. Mikey glides in and sees the armchair, but meekly heads for the beanbag. Simon rises.
I'll take it, Mikey. You need a comfy seat.
Thanks, I think. Let's see you wrestle the beast.
Simon slides into the beanbag with ease, much to Mikey's chagrin.
You make it look so easy.
Mikey stares at William's clasped hands, then looks away. Steph struts in. All three get up. Simon struggles.
Good, it's not just me.
Oh, do sit down, please. It's not privates on parade.
That was how you described it before.
Okay, bad choice of words on my part.
Steph, I'd like to launch off and apologise for this morning.
Me too. I didn't mean to cause offence to you.
I was shocked, not offended, but thank you. Mikey?
Yes, thank you, boys. Okay, yes, Mikey, bad too.
After today's revelations, so to speak, we need to create some house rules and not just about nudity.
Haven't any of you boys been taught how to behave around women?
Of course, but it's around men I need more tuition.
Wearing pants would be a good start.
I'd like to think I do okay on my own. I treat others as I want to be treated. With the naked body, that was all I knew growing up.
Did you live on one of those nudist colonies?
Close. My mum, God rest her soul, was a hippie, and I spent my first 7 years in a commune. After she died, the next 7 I lived with my abusive father and his new wife. Clothes were seldom worn, so I've always been very comfortable in the altogether.
I'm sorry you endured that hardship, Simon, but as much as we're all friends of Dorothy in our tiny village, this villager can't deal with the naked truth.
I had my own bathroom at home, so it never came up, so to speak.
See, Simon, it was me who suggested you go live with William's parents. They're clearly loaded.
Yes, loaded with endless opinions and rules.
Clearly not about nudity. In my family, we never showed our bodies to one another. We were punished if too much flesh was on display. I don't think my mother ever allowed herself to be undressed around us. My religion frowns upon it.
That would explain your love of layers. I never saw my parents in the nutty. Ever. Oh, wait. There was that one time. I'll never forget the image. The shape of the two of them under the doona. They made it look like a tent, making quite vigorous movements, emitting the most disturbing noises. Shrieking, wailing, like nothing I ever heard.
I think that's a walking in on your parents having sex story.
The beast with 2 backs.
I beg your pardon?
It's a sexual position.
What? You and the blob?
Oh, certainly not. I read about it in Cosmo or Clio, or the Women's Weekly.
That uppity Ida Buttrose. Horny! Who knew?
Well, the last time the blob and I went at it, we were at war.
The Second World War?
Vietnam, surely.
No. Make-up sex after one of our monumental arguments. Well, these days we just can't seem to get the timing right. Generally speaking, and this is a bit naughty, kids, but just as I'm climbing into bed, he's finishing up. You've heard of the wet patch? Well, lying in that is about the closest I get to having sex.
Ugh, sticky. Don't you just hate the wet patch?
Can we get back to the subject at hand?
I thought you didn't want us to have our subject in hand.
Got it, Steph. We will all make sure we are always fully clothed in the shared rooms.
No loincloths?
Ooh, I can't wear those. Too itchy.
Ignore him. Basic covering for all of us. Towels are fine, guys. Both halves of the body, please.
But Steph...
No buts, Mikey. Literally, no buts.
How do we avoid a logjam for the shower each day?
Shower in pairs?
You laugh, but he's half serious.
I'm not. I don't do anything by halves.
I'm happy to go last. I start work later.
I'm up early, so I'm okay to go first. Say 6:30?
Wait, there's a 6:30 in the morning?
Yes, Sleeping Beauty.
And could I please ask that our showers are kept to a reasonable length, so there's some hot water left for the last person?
Fair call. Sorry, I lost track of time.
You lot are like those bigwigs at the United Nations.
I have an issue to raise. Can we keep our personal stuff in our own rooms? I've noticed a lot of bags, books, clothes lying around.
Thank you, William. All Steph.
Not true. I'm not the only one who is a bit untidy.
I'd call it slobbery.
I spoke too soon.
Why did you move in with me then?
Because you're smart and would frighten off evil spirits.
Ooh, I can help with that. I've done seances, exorcisms, energetic cleansing.
We're sounding less like the United Nations.
I'll try to keep my junk in my room.
I'm sorry, my corner has crept a little beyond my divider.
Yes, keeping some of your cups and tea leaves around the place is a problem.
Especially when you're still reading them.
Sorry about that. Unwashed cups are a pet peeve.
Hallelujah! Another washer-upper-ra.
Looks like we need a chat about chores, etc.
And food, and cleaning.
This is good. Putting our heads together is the way forward.
I've got some sponge cake to share. That should keep rumbly tummies at bay. Be back in a jiffy.
Viv darts away.
Oi, we might need house rules for her too.
Minutes later, Steph is sitting on a flat chair with a large piece of butcher's paper on cardboard on her lap. Mikey is wriggling on the beanbag. Simon is curled up on the armchair. William hovers. Viv prepares snacks in the kitchen.
You're very resourceful, Steph, finding butch paper.
Butcher's paper, courtesy of the health food shop.
I didn't know they sold meat as well as those weird and wonderful veggies.
I reckon they would have many consumables that need protection from leakage.
I prefer my shopping not to be incontinent.
Right, so we have covered the schedule for the bathroom.
Yes, but not for the cleaning of it.
How about we do 1 week each? Then round it goes.
Sounds good to me. Yes, Mikey first.
Why me?
Alphabetical.
You are like two peas in a pod.
It won't be the same for every chore.
Yes, that would be unfair. The kitchen?
Can't we just clean up after ourselves?
Yes, can we please make a cup of herbal dishwater, endure it, then return the unlucky cup from whence it came?
I'm happy to vacuum the lounge and the entrances.
But you're only home a few hours a day and asleep for most of those. You can't hoover at 3 a.m.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. Saturdays I can do.
Not before 11 a.m. Steph isn't human any earlier, and I need my beauty sleep.
Okie dokie.
Gosh, you're so agreeable. I might call on you to come and pay a visit to lean on the blob.
Is he that blobby that it would take 4 of us to pin him down?
No, she means to reason with him, right, Viv? Viv?
I'm just picturing the 4 of you tackling my husband. That'd get him up and about.
What have you told him about us?
That you're gays and lesbians and bisexuals.
Sounds like there's hordes of us. Just 4.
He said if I wanted to spend my time with shirt lifters and weirdos, that was my beeswax. Funny, he referred to you as Nancy boys. I thought you were friends of Dorothy. Who's this Nancy now? Will I get to meet Dorothy and Nancy?
I believe you already have, Viv. Friends of Dorothy is code for queer. Nancy is a pejorative. Let's move on. Okay, can we discuss a kitty?
Now surely that's not another female you've got hidden here. Or is it a cat?
No, it's a communal fund for supplies, cleaning agents, necessities, and staple foods.
I'm going to need subtitles living with you lot.
English is a richly resplendent language, one we should eternally utilise and enjoy.
Rightio.
I think $10 each should do it. Is that okay?
That's a bit steep. It's more than my rent.
Exactly, and you work 2 jobs.
Neither of them pays well or reliably, and I'm only here 1/16 of the time.
But will you use and eat 1/16 of the supplies? You've got a very good deal, Simon.
I'm with Steph. You still need soap, toilet paper, milk, etc., and we'll split the bills 4 ways, okay?
I feel we should have our own soap. Some of us have more sensitive skin to care for.
If you cut out sugary food, you wouldn't need it.
Thank you, Mother Hubbard. Get back in the cupboard.
Just trying to be supportive. I do get a discount on body products from my job.
Oh no, not that hippie stuff. It's made up of algae, seaweed and funguses.
That would be fungi.
See, William agrees with me.
Fine, use your own chemical products that have been tested on tortured animals.
I agree with Steph. Organics are much better.
Palmolive suits me fine. As long as we stick to a budget, I don't mind. Simon, you'd better conjure up some more readings to finance your preferences.
Okay, milk. Now, surely we can agree on that. Comes from a cow, right? Moving on to toast.
I'm not eating white bread.
Yuck. Me neither. Brown, please.
I can go either way.
So you've told us before.
Who is going to do the shop?
I will, as I have a car. I'll need a volunteer.
I can. How about Thursday late night shopping?
Good. No offence, Si, but if you and Steph did it, we would live on limp carrots, mung beans and plankton-scented soap.
The kitchen, 7:45 p.m. Mikey and Steph are on the kitchen side of the counter, and Viv and William on stools facing them on the other side.
So, Steph, you are the cook of the house?
Decidedly not, Viv. I can barely boil an egg.
We didn't get to meal prep, but I guess it's only dinner that needs communal input.
Yes, pouring cornflakes into a bowl and buying sangers for lunch we can all do. Even Steph.
You really must stop spoiling us with your baked, concoctions, Viv.
Oh, my pleasure, ducks. I'm happy to help. I could give you some cooking lessons.
Oh no, that would really be too much, Viv. The food is more than enough. But thanks.
Why would we look a gift chook in the mouth?
Once the blob goes to work, I'm all alone. You're much more entertaining than the tumble dryer, and less noisy. Although, I have to say, that Sons and Daughters program is giving you young uns a run for your money. Saucy kids.
There's plenty of sauce over here. They should make a TV show out of our experiences. Call it Gaze of Our Lives. I've certainly got some juicy tales to tell, if you catch my drift.
I think your flavour of juice is not palatable to a wider audience, Mikey.
I'm not sure I understand any of that. Where's young Simon?
Getting ready for work. He doesn't eat much, and even less after our talk, I expect.
Devising an equitable kitty isn't going to be easy. We have such different lifestyles.
Maybe, but there are staples common between us.
Excuse me, there's nothing common in what I consume.
Maybe, but you do consume your fair share. Last Friday you barely left me enough milk to drown a mouse in.
Then you really must give up mice. They're not good for you.
You're like an old married couple, you two.
How horrific, Viv. Best friends, sure. Hitched, never.
Well, don't you plan to get married one day?
No, not to a woman. I don't swing that way.
But you can't marry another boy.
He could have a de facto union, but marriage isn't all it's cracked up to be. Is it, Viv?
No, but it's what you do.
No, it isn't. I won't. But a long-term relationship with another woman is possible.
I didn't know you people did that sort of thing.
That's a bit offensive, Viv. Gay people are no different to anyone else. They need, they yearn, they love, and they squabble.
I didn't know any of that. Oh, forgive me. Please, I'm always putting my foot in it.
I sit corrected, Viv.
This is all so new to me. So, how do you fit into all of this, young William?
I need, I yearn, I love, and yes, I squabble. I don't know if I'll end up in a marriage or a long-term relationship or be alone. It's all pretty unclear to me right now.
I know friends of Dorothy that have been together for a decade or more. One of my professors has been with her girlfriend for 12 years.
Not sure I can be with someone for 12 days, let alone 12 years.
Oh, you will, Mikey. You're just young. You'll settle.
Did you settle, Viv?
I sure did, dolls. I'm no poster child for a bride, and the blob is no groom. Hell, he wouldn't know how to groom if his life depended on it. But for me, finding a husband was expected, and so I did it. For better or worse.
Simon emerges in full drag regalia with a beehive wig, long sequined frock, high heels, and makeup, but still with unshaven face. Viv drops her fork in comic style.
First I was afraid, I was petrified, to think that I could never live without you by my side.
Ye gods! Simon, you're not leaving the house like that.
Oh, yes, I'm off to work. Gary from the club drives all of us performers to the venue in a minibus. Have a good night.
All eyes follow Simon as he sachets to the door.
Stay tuned for the next enthralling episode.
You have been listening to Declan Clifford. That's me, as Mikey.
Steph is performed by Tessa Nielsen.
I'm River Stevens, and you have heard me perform Simon.
Hi there. The role of William is voiced by Riley Nottingham.
The Vivacious Viv is performed by Martine Halliday.
My name is Barry Michael, and the songs featured here were written and performed by me.
Recorded at Big Ears Audio by Adrian Ricciotti and Tony Lazzaro.
Friends of Dorothy was written, produced, directed, and edited by David Rector.
She's not kidding.
Why, oh, why, baby, can't we get along? Why, oh, why, baby, can't we get along? We've been fussing and fighting ever since we've been fussing and fighting. Ever since we've been fussing and fighting. Ever since we begun.
Copyright 2024.